Hey there, Nathan here from Tennis Fitness. Welcome to this lesson. Today we're talking about body language, the importance of it, what it is, how it's going to help you play better tennis. So I'm excited to take you through this. If you have been following Tennis Fitness for a while, either on our YouTube channel or social media or website, you'll know that this is an area that we have high importance. We place high importance on because we know how much of an impact it will have. Doesn't matter how high a level of player you are, or if you're just starting out in the game, you need to get this right. Let's get into it. All right, so what is body language? Okay, what is body language? It is your physical posture, so good or bad, so how you hold yourself physically in moments, the energy that you give off, so positive or negative, and your intensity, so whether that's high or low. Before I move on, this explanation of body language, this is just what I have created myself and my team at Tennis Fitness about what we feel body language is and how it relates to tennis. So your physical posture, the energy that you give off, and your intensity. Okay, and you'll see as we go through how these three link together to help get you the best outcome you can have on the tennis court. All right, so let's have a look now. So let me move myself out of the way here. At the good and the bad. Okay, the good and the bad of body language. So let's have a look at the good side of things to start. So we have your physical posture. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, well, a good physical posture is having a wide base, knees bent, back straight, chest up, and we want you looking up, okay, not down here. If we cross over to the bad, okay, we have a look at the bad physical posture. We've got the legs close together, okay, we've got the legs straight, so there's no bend in the knee, the back slumped over, and someone's looking down. All right, so I want you to picture those two physical differences. Okay, wide base, knees bent, chest up, down low, ready to attack, legs close together, back slumped over, head looking down. It looks like you're not moving, you're not ready to go anywhere. Okay, so that's the physical. The energy that you give off, let's have a look at the good. So deep breathing, positive self-talk, consistent flow, which means like you're unflustered, just like, hey, nothing's bothering this person. Okay, this person just looks like they're rock solid, they're super consistent. Now let's have a look at the bad. Okay, the energy you give off on the bad side, shallow breathing, negative self-talk, and the energy spikes are generally up and down. We have like emotional responses, and someone finds it very hard to stay nice and consistent like this. All right, your intensity, this is a big one, okay? So you're holding good physical posture, the energy is great that you're giving off, and then all of a sudden you're up on your toes, you're in your ready position, you're chasing everything down, you've got like that resilient mindset, like you're not giving in. That's the intensity. That's the good intensity we're chasing. Let's have a look at the bad side of things. So with bad body language and your intensity, it's almost like you're dragging your feet around the court. It looks like someone's giving up on points. They're not really hustling. It's like they don't really want to be out there. Quitting comes easy. It's generally like the last step of all those things happening. All right, so you can control these things, either the good or the bad. They're totally up to you to get right. Let's move on. I'll ask you what will give you the better outcome. It's a bit of a no-brainer, right? What's going to give you the better outcome to work and be in that good range with the body language, or to work and be in the bad range with the body language? I think it's a pretty easy answer. And if you are struggling and you're not sure, then I encourage you to spend as much time in the good side as you can and see how you perform on the tennis court. Not only in matches, but also in practice, because how we practice, we're going to play. So we want to create the habit in practice so that it overflows into our matches, all right? So I think you've worked out you want to be on this side, on the good side. Let's have a look at some benefits of positive body language. What are some positives? What are going to give you some gains? Okay, well, you're going to get an increased self-belief. Okay, I can guarantee you that. How is that going to happen? Quite simply, just by holding good physical posture, talking with good self-talk, chasing everything down, all of a sudden from that comes the ability to be able to go, hey, I can do this. I've got this. Let's get this done. I've been through worse than this. That's self-belief, okay? Increase energy. When we're doing those things, our energy is just going to be staying like this. We're going to get it up, and we're going to be able to maintain that high level of energy a lot longer and easier than if we're spending time on the other side. Better mood, okay? So if we're in a better mood, you're going to be in a better mood when you're positive, you're being positive with your body language, which means you're going to make better choices. Okay, you're making choices from a much better platform. Higher capacity to compete, 100%. You're going to want to compete more. You're going to give yourself the ability to compete more because physically you're going to be in a better position. Mentally, you're going to be in a better position. Next point, builds resilience. It's going to make you tougher and harder to beat. We're going to look at something in a moment, but what player would you rather play against? We'll have a look at that in a moment, but builds resilience. Resilience is huge for you as a tennis player, and it will help with that. Creates doubt in your opponent. Okay, if someone's looking down the other end of the court and you're up on your toes, you've got great body language and your mindset's good, you're talking positively to yourself and you're chasing everything down, all of a sudden, and even if your opponent's winning the match at that stage, they're going to think, what is going on with this person? They're so positive, their body language is crazy. And as soon as you get a sniff and you can break that momentum and turn it around, all of a sudden they will go, how am I going to be able to do what they did? I don't think I can. It's a massive advantage you can have over your opponents. They all of a sudden have to think, I have to beat this person. They're not going to give this up. That's the player you want to be. Makes your team want to help you more. If you're watching someone on court, and I've done this hundreds of thousands of times. I'm watching my player play, and I've been, they're chasing everything. The body language is great. In my head, I'm thinking, how can I help them more? When they get off the court, I've got to be organised with the recovery. I've got to get their food ready. I have to do this. I've got to organise the transporter. And then I've got to go pick this up for them for tomorrow. I'll drop their rackets off to get restrung. All these things because I want to help them more. But on the other side, if someone's carrying on and the body language isn't great and it looks like they don't want to be out there, all of a sudden in my head, I start thinking, hey, well, why am I going to bring all of this to the table when this person doesn't even really look like they want to be out there and they're not really responding well to me? They're not giving me a good vibe as well. So I'm not feeling motivated. It happens, trust me, particularly if you're a player and it's your parents. I can guarantee you in their heads at times they're going to be thinking, are we doing the right thing here? Is this the right direction that our child's on? Okay. But if you're chasing everything and your body language is good and you're being positive and you're doing all those things that we just had in that good side, I guarantee you that a parent and a coach are going to keep pushing on and wanting to keep helping you. I can guarantee it right now. Okay, so never forget that. All right, next point. Gives you a positive outlook. So you're going to feel better and you're going to enjoy the process more. Definitely. It's like I've written these points myself, right? So it gives you a positive outlook. It will. It's going to make you feel better about yourself and about your tennis, which means you're going to enjoy the process. And that links back up to being a resilient athlete as well. When you enjoy something, you don't mind the hard stuff. It's part of the journey. All right, let's move on. Benefits of negative body language. If you can think of any, stick them in the comments below in our YouTube channel here underneath this this presentation, this lesson. I'd like to hear your thoughts. But in my opinion, there really are none. Some people have often said to me in the past, oh, but when I get negative or when I get angry, that's when I play my best tennis. I beg to differ. You might release some frustration, and that's an emotional response. And we do actually have another presentation, another lesson on emotional control that's worthwhile watching. But generally, when we're in a anger state, okay, we're secreting adrenaline into our bloodstream. That roughly is going to last for about 90 seconds. Once that wears off, we drop down. So it might work for you for about a minute, and you might get a little bit of extra energy, but the flow-on effect from that isn't great. We're much better off being in this nice, steady, controlled state as much as we can. That's where we get better gains. So anyway, excuse me, nothing's going to come out of being in having negative body language, okay? No good in it. Don't do it. All right, what can you control? Let me get this off this young lady's face here. What can you control? So you are 100% in control of your body language. No one controls this, okay? So it doesn't matter a coach, opponent, parent, friends. No one controls these things except you. Your body language is 100% up to you, and I can guarantee you, okay, learn to control it. Learn to spend time in the good side, and good things will happen to your game. There will be progress. There'll be growth. There'll be better results from doing it, and you'll enjoy it more, and people will enjoy being around you more as well. So one thing we like to say at Tennis Fitness, we don't make excuses, we find solutions. It's very easy to find excuses playing tennis, but you want to be a solution finder. You want to be a problem solver. So find your way to become better with your body language, and I need you to start this today in order to help yourself out right now. So yeah, make sure that starts happening. All right, I'm going to finish off. Not long to go, but I just want to look at two different options here of a player that you'd rather play. So who would you rather play? I've got this guy on the screen here. If you've been living in a tennis wonderland in the last 15 years and you don't know who this guy is, it's Rafa Nadal. He's my favorite player of all time. I used to love watching this guy warm up and practice when I was on the road with the pros. I was always gobsmacked every day what this guy could do. And he typifies what good body language is all about. Okay, great posture, physically what he can do, point after point, chasing everything down, how he talks to himself, how he relates to his team when they're watching, all those things. It's just incredible. Never throws the racket around. So he is number one in my opinion. So let's have a look at these two options. Option one. So remember, you're standing down one end, facing your opponent down the other end. Your opponent down the other end in this example is option one. There's someone who looks lethargic, which means they look a bit tired and drained. They're not willing to chase balls, so they're not really willing to push themselves physically. They're displaying negative self-talk, so they're probably saying things to themselves like, I'm so bad, why am I out here? Stop talking to me, all that sort of thing, all that carry-on that's going on. They're responding badly to their support team, maybe telling their parents to shut up or go away, and their physical posture is weak. They look beaten, okay? Now, the other option is you look down the other end of the court and there's someone full of consistent energy, so that each point they're doing the same thing. They're chasing everything. The energy's not going up and down. It's staying like this, okay? They're chasing everything down. They're up on their toes, ready for every point. They display positive self-talk and look invincible. Okay, so when they're returning serve, you look down the other end and they're in exactly the same position, wides out, super engaged, watching your hand, watching the ball, up on their toes, the chest is up, they're ready to attack, they're ready to go, like a predator. Okay, they're talking positively to themselves, hitting their leg like, come on, that's it, good point, let's go, keep going, and they look invincible. So no matter the situation of the match, nothing changes. Okay, their physical posture is strong and they're aggressive. So that they're there to fight. You know that you have to beat them. They're not going to roll over and give you the match. So I'm going to ask you now, who would you rather be playing? Option one or option two? If it was me, I'd be much rather play option one. What that tells me is I never want to be option one for my opponent. I never want to be the person that looks beaten, that looks lethargic, that's not willing to chase balls down, that's having a go at my support team, that my posture looks weak. Because that's the result. That's going to be my outcome. Okay, it's going to be weak. It's going to be lethargic. It's not going to be good enough. Option two, though, that's the person I want to be, and that's the person you need to be. Okay, and you can do it. Remember, you can control these things yourself. All right, a little bit of homework for you. Some things to think about. I'm going to ask you, how would you rate your current body language during practice and matches? How do you rate yourself? How's your body language in those areas we've gone over? You scale yourself out of a 1 to 10. Generally, what would you give yourself? Me personally, I would say I would be. You can't do halves. Otherwise, I'd say I'm an 8.5. I'm actually going to say I'm a 9. I'm a 9 because I have done a lot of work in this area, and this crosses over into everything that I do. It's not just with my sport as well. But be honest with yourself. Okay, if you're not honest with yourself, then you can't make the right changes. So over the next week, be mindful and honest about your body language. Be conscious of what you are doing and what you can be doing better. Simple. Okay? Work on your body language. Make it happen. You can check us out at tennisfitness.com. Thanks for following us on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you got something out of this. I will see you very soon. Thank you.